Let's really be all the way honest. Some relationships don't fail because of finances, because of infidelity, because we're on two different pages. No, that's not what it is. What it is you have not established the boundaries up front. And then once you get into a relationship, because you have not asked the questions, you have not had the hard conversations, now you begin to see the real person. And it's like, hold on, I didn't sign up for all this. It's because you didn't set the boundaries up front first. You fell in love, and all the red flags were a blur.
Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out, brother.
What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. It's your boy, Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS, the podcast. You already know here. Our mission is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. Now, this is an extension of AOS, the podcast. This is Love and Logic, where we talk all things relationship. I'm excited about this episode, this conversation. Establish boundaries up front. It's like really major because there's so many relationships that fail, not because of money, not because of finances, not because of infidelity, not because of the lack of intimacy, but because we have not established the boundaries up front. And the boundaries that I'm talking about is not necessarily the do's and the don'ts, but the boundaries are the things that you don't want to talk about. Those are the boundaries. We have not established those up front. The truth of the matter is, it bothers me because so many good relationships that have potential to go the distance, they don't go the distance because what happens, you get into a relationship and some failed expectations happen. And you're thinking that, hey, it should be one way and it's not that way. And then once you really find out the truth, you're like, listen, I want out. And I want to be the first to share this. Marriages, especially marriages are hard work. Marriages is not a walk in the park. Marriage is something that is unlike a job. You have to show up every single day, no days off, right? At least a job, you get some days off, you get some vacation time. No. Not in marriage. You got to show up every single day, even on the days that it rains, even on the days that it hails, right? You got to show up every single day. It's not easy. I'm gonna put this out here. In a relationship, it's so easy to walk away. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. Listen, I'm like, I'm gone. Right? It's easy to walk away, but I really want to encourage some people on today, because although it's easy to walk away, it's harder to keep on building. The truth of the matter is sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. And I know that sometimes seems backwards because we want things to get better before they get worse, or we don't want the worst to happen. We want it to get better, then maybe get a little bad, but then get back to getting better. The truth of the matter is many people can't endure the worst parts. If you can endure the worst parts of a relationship, you're A-okay. But in a marriage or in a relationship, when you know the worst parts about a person and you still decide to stay, watch this, and give them love and respect, listen, half the battle is over with. Now, I'm going to get into, I got 3 points that I want to release into you on today about establishing boundaries. I'm going to explain them in detail to a degree because I really want you guys to understand that I need to establish these boundaries up front. Like, I need to establish my do's and don'ts. I need to establish my expectations. I need to establish all of those. So the first one I want to talk about is ask sensitive questions up front. It's nothing more worse than you're dating a person. And the truth of the matter is, let's really be all the way honest. Most people meet their representative. When you meet somebody and, oh, she fine or he handsome, right? You're not meeting them. You're meeting their representative. You're meeting the person that they want you to see, period. Let's really be all the way honest. You're not meeting them. You're meeting you're meeting a representation of what they want you to think that they are, period. So since you meet their representative, you don't ask the hard questions. You don't ask the sensitive questions because you really are engulfed into who the representative is. But I want you to get past all that, right? Move all past the smoke and mirrors and ask the hard questions. Ask the questions, what is your religion? What is your background? And this is the biggest one. As you begin to ask the hard questions, spend some time with their family. because their family's going to tell it all. The family has no dog in the fight. That's what I love about spending time with the family. They have no dog in the fight. The family's going to show you who they are, while the person that you're dating, they're going to keep on giving that, especially when you don't live together. Because it's really hard. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I understand in the church world, it's been so don't shack up. Right now, I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little bit sharp that some people would not agree with, but it's the truth. You don't fully know a person until you live with them. Period. Now, I'm not promoting you live them with them. Now, I'm gonna share this with us as well. The reason that a lot of people don't understand why the church, why we preach don't live together before you get married. Now, is it old school? Yes, it's old school values. But this is why that value is in place. The value is in place because in the church, we believe no sex before marriage. Now, I'm strongly in agreement with that because the sex before marriage clouts your judgment. You can be in a relationship with the person, but the sex hits good, and you will overlook listen, they will throw a red flag and hang it around your neck, and you'll be like, nah, this is cool, it could change. Because the sex is so amazing, because your emotions is tied into it. So this is why the church says, listen, don't have sex. This is why the Bible explicitly tells us don't have sex before marriage, right? It does not promote that. Now, I know that we can get into a deep conversation about that because now, one thing you have to understand the culture and the context of the Bible. We can go into a deep conversation about that, but that's not what this is about. However, we understand that the Bible, you would never find, the Bible says, he that finds a girlfriend, God would never send you a girlfriend. He will send you a wife. He'll never send you a boyfriend. He'll send you a husband. So, what I really want to explain about that is that the church, we look at it from a perspective. Is it old school? Does it need to be revised? Does it need to be relooked at? Now, when I want to share this, a lot of people don't believe in the church, don't shack up because they believe that you're going to have sex. They're going to believe that the temptation is so high. Now, the truth of the matter is there are some people with integrity, right? Now, that's a big conversation that we can really have. Can two live together without having any type of sexual contact? Can the two live together without compromising the relationship? And the truth of the matter is, there are some people that can do that, right? Now, the whole point of me bringing that up, I'm not promoting it either way, but what I am saying is there's a person that you're in a relationship with that you will not fully know until you live together. Because when you go visiting, I can act like I'm clean when I'm not. This is all under the umbrella that you got to ask the sensitive questions up front. When you don't ask these sensitive questions, you will never know. And especially if you don't live with them, you will never know until it's too late. And then you get married and you find out, hold on. So you wash up every other day? Wait. So when you come from outside sweating, you sitting on the couch, laying in the bed? No. We're going to change all that. But you would have known that now I'm telling you, there's some pros and cons about not living together and living together. Now, I've seen some couples that said, listen, we're going to wait to have sex till we get married and we're not going to live together. We're not going to shack up. And I'm telling you now, I've seen both examples. And one example, they're divorced, and the other example, they're thriving. Right? I've seen both examples. I've also seen some examples where they did live together and they did have sex, but they did honor God. Right? They may have asked for forgiveness for the sex part, but they did honor God and their relationship is thriving. Now, I've seen couples like that as well, that they're divorced already. Right? So I believe that it's well needed conversation so we can peel back the layers. Because the truth of the matter is, I know we hear this and we say this, oh, but if God sent them, it's going to be the right person. And then you're asking, suppose the intimacy is not that good. Well, I've heard preachers say this. Well, if God sent them, the intimacy is going to be right just for you. Suppose it's not, though. I know some cases that the intimacy wasn't. And I know some cases that the intimacy was. Hence why you wait until marriage to have sex. And the reason for that, because you have nobody to compare it to. Because when you have so much to compare it to, when you get married, like, hold on, this don't hit, you see what I'm saying? So that's why. But I encourage everybody, have the sensitive conversations and the sensitive questions up front. Establish boundaries. Number 2, Be honest about your deal breakers. So many of y'all want to hide how you really feel. You want to hide what you think or what your deal breakers are, and you don't want to tell the person because you know that they have some of your deal breakers. Well, this is what I want to tell people. Let the person that you're in a relationship with or that you're building with, let them see who it is that you are up front. Let them make a decision. Nah, this is not the person. I love those type of relationships. I love when you meet a person and you allow them to see the authentic you. I need you to make an educated decision whether you need to be with me or we don't need to be together. Let me see everything up front because I don't want anything to catch me off guard, right? So I need you to be bold enough to be honest. Like, listen, one of my deal breakers is if your breath stinks, right? One of my deal breakers is if you're nasty. One of my deal breakers is if you're too dirty. Like, I mean, be honest. What are your deal breakers? My deal breakers are if you don't care about your credit. My deal breakers are if you don't handle finances well. My deal breakers are if you lie a lot, if you drink a lot, if you smoke a lot. That's a deal breaker for me, right? Many of you, just to have somebody, and I get it, you've been waiting for somebody for so long, but you're not honest enough to say, this is my deal breaker. I'm out of here. The last one, express your expectations first. That's major. So many of y'all are not expressing what you expect out of your mate. And now here it is, year 10, year 15, year 20. Your expectations have been failed because there was no expectations laid up front. Because it's crazy because you go to a job, get a new job, they lay out all the expectations for you, what they expect from you, and they ask you, what do you expect from them? And and the other party, whatever party it is, don't meet that expectation, we meet back at the table, have a conversation. And if we can't rectify it, then we just go our separate ways. Why is it that for a job, but with your relationship, you don't ask for or set the expectations up front? I expect you to be like this. Right? I understand I can't change you, but this is the type of person that I desire. What about you? And if those expectations cannot be met, then guess what? It might be best that we go our separate ways. Just being honest. Establish boundaries up front. Save yourself the heartaches. Love you guys to life. Grace and peace.
Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out, bro.